Hi, I'm Alejandria. I'm a teen librarian at the Kenosha Public Library.
I'm Susannah. I'm also a teen librarian at the Kenosha Public Library.
And I'm Megan. I'm an early literacy specialist at the library.
And today we're going to be doing YA All Day Horror Edition, spoiler free, of course. So we also just want to make a small announcement at the beginning. It is the month of October, so it is the month of our Scary Story Contest. So students who are in grades 3 through 12 can enter. The theme for this year is Campfire Tales. Your short story should be about 500 words, and it needs to be your original work, your original ideas. And it's due on Halloween, October 31st at 4 p.m. This year you can also submit virtually in case you don't feel comfortable coming into the library, but of course you can bring your physical entries to any of the library branches in the bookmobile. There will just be a form to fill out, but you can always ask us and we'll guide you to where you need to go for that. And I'll put the link for the blog post in the descriptions. Okay, that's all.
All right. So I'm going to kick things off today. One of my favorite young adult horror books, and it's actually a trilogy, is Asylum by Madeleine Roux. It's this really great kind of creepy book. It centers around these three friends that attend a boarding school, and they live in a dorm that's an old psychiatric hospital, and it's haunted by past patients. But the really cool thing about this book is there are these really creepy old pictures that add this it really sets the tone of the book, and it's throughout the whole book. And so even though the story is kind of creepy and gives you the heebie-jeebies, when you get to the pictures and if you really look at them, they really will kind of terrify you. So I think that's what pushes it to the top of my list, is just the whole mood. So if you want like a really creepy all the way through kind of mood, like where you're reading it and it's like dark and stormy and you're like home alone, and it's that kind of creepy. The other cool fun little tidbit is the author actually went to Beloit College, which is an hour west of here, and the campus in this book is inspired by the grounds on Beloit of Beloit College. So there is kind of a little bit of a local tie too.
Cool. Anytime I hear boarding school, I think creepy.
Oh, fully.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential in boarding schools for creepy stories, I think.
Are there any boarding schools that aren't haunted? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't think of one.
I'd say I do know a lot of real boarding schools. They're all in fiction.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, I guess we didn't decide whether Susannah or I will go next.
I'll go next because we're talking about hauntings. And I'm not a huge fan of all horror, but I am a huge fan of ghost stories. So the one that I picked this week is Ghostwood Song by Erica Waters, which just came out earlier this year, actually. And it's a very Southern Gothic kind of ghost story. The main character is named Shady Grove, and she inherited her talent and her love of playing the fiddle from her father. She plays in a bluegrass ensemble and she's really into music. And she also inherited her father's connection to ghosts. So when her father's been dead for a while at the beginning of the book, but when her older brother is arrested for the murder of their stepfather, she decides she's going to try and find the fiddle that everyone thinks was lost with her father when he died, which has the power to summon ghosts, and you'll be able to communicate with them when you play it. So her father was always able to do this. She thinks she'll be able to as well if she finds the fiddle. So it's a very creepy story, but it also has a really excellent love triangle. It's got a whole lot of stuff about music and family, and I really, really enjoyed this one. very spooky. Good October read.
All right. Do you like space? Do you like, not you specifically, do you like space zombies and plagues? If you do, you should probably read Contagion by Erin Bowman. Very important to get the author right on that because there are more than one Contagion book. Fairly common name, actually. So this one's kind of a fast-paced sci-fi horror sort of blend. If you've ever read the book Illuminae, it's probably would be a good read-alike for that, but much shorter. The Illuminae book is huge, but a quick read, but yes, massive. But this one is smaller, so if you're looking for a smaller, fast-paced read and you're not at all really interested in romance, this is a great book for you to read. I love sci-fi books, so I love anything set in space. So I like sci-fi horror, like the movie Aliens and things like that. But this book centers on about 7 people who are out on a research station on a different planet, and all of a sudden they have to evacuate, and several of them are disappointed that they're going to have to end their research trip a little early, but oh, no, they're not going home. There has been an SOS from another planet that they have to go answer, not because they are the best people to answer that SOS, but just because they're the closest people to that SOS. And there's a lot of like history that the main kind of scientist on this voyage, Elizabeth, has with the place that they are going. And it's kind of this place that brings a lot of anxiety for people because some bad things have happened there. And they are a little stressed out because they have no idea why there's even like a outpost there with people on it, but they're going to go answer the call, and things are going to go awry, and there's going to be dead bodies.
Oh yeah.
I would say this isn't like, it's not super gory, but like if you're looking for something a little less of a gothic ghost story, this is probably a good pick for you. Yeah, that's that. Horror in space.
Yeah. Got horror all over the place here. Very different settings.
Yes.
And we also will have a blog post going up on our young adult section with some more horror novel suggestions. So if none of those seem like they really float your boat, you want to check out our blog, and there's some more stuff on there.
You can also give the library a call if you want a more specialized recommendation based on your interests. We are always happy to talk about books, and we are always happy to really talk your ear off about books. Yeah, I would say so.
Why we
All
film
right.
these, so we'll stop doing it to everybody else who's around.
All right, short and sweet. We're gonna sign off and say goodbye, but come by the KPL branches and let us know what you like to read, and let us suggest some books for you. All right, bye.
Bye.